Hello, one more day in the crypto world, DeFi, IoT. We're on the road. We're up by a property that we're selling. As you can see behind me, this is a little town just outside of where the property sits that we're going to put up for sale. A group of us to buy in a more crypto-friendly environment. And well, I want to talk to you today a little bit about how you can use crypto and form a strategy in your crypto earnings to also get yourself out of debt. I know a lot of people got themselves in debt and getting in crypto, or maybe you have other debts and you're looking just to kind of get wealth and get out of debt. Remember, in crypto, we want to try to be in crypto for its principles as well. So let's talk a little bit how you can use crypto to get out of your debt. And I think that's going to be something very necessary coming up. Gas prices already jumped just last night over 50 cents in the state of California. So let's take a look at, if rising prices are coming, then we're going to need to get off our debt. And that's going to be very important. So let's talk a little about how you can use your crypto and get out of debt so you can maintain yourself and keep yourself going and achieve that financial independence you're looking for. Jumping into it, I've been there, and we've actually accrued some debt as well. In crypto, we just took on some debt for buying our solar panels. But let's talk about that strategy first. Not all debt's bad, and we're servicing though probably in interest rates on a monthly basis about $900 on one set of debts that we took upon ourselves to actually buy in quantity different types of devices to be able to be paid for establishing networks or even miners and so forth. A lot of it we paid for in cash, etc. But we also have a little bit of debt where we like to get that paid off, paying a high interest rate on it. The other aspect is, what debt's good, what debt's not good. Some people say, well, my house is good debt, etc. You can use a lot of times your mortgage payments for a tax deduction. That's all great and fine, but the problem is if you can't make the payments on it, then and what's coming down the road with inflation and maybe hyperinflation, we need to start getting prepared now. So how can we use our crypto investments to actually put ourselves in a better position? Well, there's kind of a rule, and a book I recommend reading that in regard to this, and how to accumulate wealth and maintain your wealth, and how to get wealth even if you're deeply in debt. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a very short read. It's actually a good read. And when I'm driving and so forth, I like to read a lot. As you know, I read a lot of books and so forth. And even on cryptocurrencies, I try to go back over and maintain. I try to see if I really understand and maintain my understanding and expand it with a new change in technology. And that's something important that I would suggest to anybody to do. Now, in crypto, what's a good strategy? Well, let's just borrow from that classic book, The Richest Man in Babylon, which is a really good tale of wealth and how it was acquired in Babylon years ago, right? Right before the Assyrian overthrow, etc. It's more of a story setting because remember that there was a lot of wealth acquired in Babylon. Well, there's going to be a lot of wealth acquired as well in cryptocurrencies. But what do we have to be wealthy in order to pay off our debts? Well, no, and generally speaking, we won't necessarily become wealthy unless we do pay off our debts. And there's a saying in this book that really kind of resonates with me, and I've said it to my team, is that, where's your heart? What kind of a heart do you have? Are you a heart of a slave, or do you have the heart of a free man or a free woman, for that matter? So where's my heart? Do I have a heart of a free man? Am I a free person? Do I have a heart of a person who's free, who desires to maintain free, or do I have a heart of slavery? In other words, I like to be subject to people basically telling me what I can and cannot do, whether I can be happy or not happy. In other words, my heart is set on basically people running my life for me. Or do you want to actually take control of your own life? And that's the decision you have to make now. In crypto is where that opportunity lies. And people need to get involved in crypto for that same reason. So with that in mind, what's a good strategy then for me to get out of debt? Well, what if I have small income, a low income? What if I make a lot of money and now the market's down some? We're probably going to be down for a while. And like I've mentioned in the video the other day, it's probably going to be down for a while. So it's something we got to take in consideration. So what do? We always, one is got to be always reading, always studying, and always see what new technology is coming out. There's a lot more out there I haven't even offered on the channel because I just don't have time to read everything and record everything that comes out. So I'm just trying to record things I think are going to be the most important. And there's a lot of projects coming out now, and I've shared some with you guys, and I'll continue to do some that, they're just kind of like fly by night maybe, but to give you ideas what's out there. And there's some others now I'm looking into. I've been on waiting lists. So we'll get those out to you as well. But what do we do in the meantime? What do I do with the income I have coming in? So my crypto earnings, what I would like to do, especially if I acquired a debt to get into it. Some people use our credit cards to get into these and to wait 6 months or better to get your hotspots for helium, for example, right? And now you bought your stuff for Planet Watch and it's gone down. Both the token price has gone down, as well as now you can start seeing saturation come in with type 4s, which is going to lower your earnings. Which again, that all has a positive long term. It's all necessary for the long term, but that doesn't help us right now in this downturn with our current income status, right? So what can I do? Well, let's borrow from that book. Okay, it's not something I've created. I've taught these courses for a lot of years. I'm not trying to, blow my own horn here, as some people have said I do. I'm trying to explain to you the basis of why I'm able to teach these things. Now, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, though I have a lot of experience in these areas and a lot of experience also in how to obtain wealth and, things I've learned in that as well, and what really true wealth means. Those are all different videos. But today I want to just give a brief synopsis of this. If I have an income, let's just say I have $10 a month, all right, and you can fact that however you want to, whether it's a couple $100 a month to a couple $1,000 a month. Here's a basic outlay of what I'm doing and what I would do, right? I would actually allocate about 70% of that income to my daily living. So that daily living is going to be, with my rent, my food, whatever that might be for my daily living. I would allocate to that. What I would then do is I would take 10% of that money to reinvest. So I'm going to go and reinvest that money, but I'm going to reinvest in the blue chips, or you can go in blue chip stocks if you want to. I'm staying away from stocks only because I think that what's happening right now with Bitcoin as an option, I don't think they're going to rebound as the traditional or act as traditionally they did, because now you have Bitcoin and you have other strong currencies, cryptocurrencies you can move into. What are the two that we are actually focused more on? Well, the two we're focused the most on now are Polkadot and Bitcoin. Those would be my steadies. Ethereum, you can jump on if you want to, but I don't want to support that kind of centralization. Now, do I think Ethereum has a future because of centralizing? Yeah, I do actually, but I don't want to support them in that. As you know, what we stand for at DeFi, right? I've made that very clear in the past. So I would allocate then in my portfolio 70% for my living expenses, 20% paying off my bills, and 10% for reinvesting. How's that going to work? Well, it's going to work like this. 10% comes off the top no matter what. No matter what. I'm taking 10% off the top, and I'm going to use that for reinvesting. So I'll buy maybe Bitcoin with it to be on a steady side, okay? I'm buying POLKADOT and PARACHAINS because I think they got the good flexibility for the future. But let's just say Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be your most traditional and probably going to be the one that's going to stand up the best through these trials coming up over the next months this year in 2022. So I'd buy Bitcoin. And if you're 10% and you're only taking $200 off a $2,000 income, that's $200 a month consistently. So how you're going to do is you're going to reduce your debt. Your debt's going to come over the months, maybe even a few years. But by the time when you're done, you're not going to be at zero. You're actually going to have accumulate wealth at the same time as buying down your debt. So 20% then is going to go to my debt, and then 70% is going to go to my living expenses. Now, you're somebody that's actually also has religious beliefs, you're going to change that up some. You're going to go 60% of your living expenses. It's going to be more sacrifice. Then you're going to go 20% towards your debt. That 20% towards debt can be very important. That's how you're going to buy it down. And then 10% towards your your reinvestments and 10% towards your tithing, if you would. So, and that's the order I put it in. I would go 10% towards my tithing, 10% towards my actual reinvestment for the future, 20% pay my debt, and 6% my living expenses. Well, what if I don't have enough money one month? Doesn't matter. You make it work. You figure it out, you make it work. But you don't take from, you don't rob from that 40% that's going to buy your future and allow you to become a free person again. Right now, if you have debt, you're a slave. Now, some debt's not bad. For example, we did $130,000 in solar panels. Why so much money? Well, we bought about $80,000 solar panels, but we financed them over 20 years with a government program. So it's going to allow us to have about $450 a month is our payment over 20 years. I can double that up and still cut down about $600 a month of what I'm currently paying in electricity and what's coming on the forefront with these new energy hikes that are down the road in this year, 2022, and what they're saying could last us until 2030. Hope not. But what's coming, we're already starting to feel it. You're feeling it in different countries, feeling it here where I'm at now in the U.S. and also feeling it in South America. So that would be the priorities. 10% in your tithe, 10% in your reinvestment, 20% towards your debt reduction faithfully every month or every time you get paid, and then 6% to live off of. Figure out your rent, your food, your gas, everything. Now, it's going to be hard with gas prices coming up, but you have to discipline yourself. And discipline yourself is going to be very important. Then the other thing I would do is sit down and spend at least 20 minutes a day. 20 a day. It's all you have to do. If you read just 2 pages a day in something extra that's going to help you come to great understanding. A book I suggest you read on this, on wealth accumulation and on debt reduction, The Richest Man in Babylon. Well, I hope this helps out some. I know that's helped me out in the past, and I've been able to help other people out as well. And this is something we teach, and I'm applying those principles now. We've got some debt we accrued, by limiting a property we have here as well. That's going to help us to reduce some debt. Buying outright now our new land, and we're even going to reduce down our home size to just mobile homes. And there are a few of us that are going in on all this. We're going to reduce it to mobile homes. We're going to invest in more solar panels. We're going to become completely off-grid. The first thing we're building is our crypto mining farms. We're going to move it out there. We already have our miners. We're going to move them from where we are out there into a tax-free pro-crypto state. Like I said, we're looking at Wyoming, Texas, and amongst a few others right now. But we'll be hitting the road there in April. Tomorrow we'll do a little tour of the house we're selling. Not much to see. I'll just show you what we're doing. Do a video there as well. And we're excited about this. We really are. So we're here for a few weeks to get this done. Tomorrow we'll meet with the realtor. Kind of excited about that too, to get the house up for sale, see what we can do. We're going to sell it as is. Why? We put some money into about $50,000 into it. We probably get about $150,000 back out of it on the sale, maybe $100,000. So we make back our money, but I'm worried about interest rates going up and cooling off the market. And if I did that, then I would not get that money back out. So I just assume I'm going to sell it for as it is, and we should get enough money in the states we're looking at right now to do what we're going to do, starting out small, humble, but putting our concentration to being off-grid and with our crypto miners in a pro-crypto mining state, that is. DeFi, IoT. If you like what we're doing here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. You know what? This is great. I'm going to leave this though, unfortunately. I grew up here, and this is sad. But we're going to go someplace even nicer than this. Less people, cheaper, and pro-crypto. DeFi, IoT. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We hope you enjoyed this segment of our video with DeFi, IoT. Remember, we're not professional advisors. We do this as a business, as a hobby, and we study, we experiment, and we want to share it with you. If you can get some benefit from this, great. What we do is we go out, we purchase with our own money, and we experiment to see what true results are. We want you to be able to share in our experiences so you don't have to lose like we have. If you can win where we've won, fantastic. Remember to do your own research and your own homework. It's very important before you make any decisions. We will see you in our next video.